Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give our praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishop, Glory Millstone, who rule well in teaching us the truth, 100% securely. And I'd like to give a salutation to the Akim and Aquak who are listening and studying to show thyself approved. Alright, so this is another quick lesson. Pretty much it's another report on the the SNAP benefit, and right here in Oklahoma, of course, that's been the main talk. November SNAP benefits is not going to be issued out, and I'm not sure if they even said anything about the details about how long you got, cause right here, I'm gonna go ahead and read this article real quick, cause there's gonna be a lot going on. And in the midst of all of this chaos, you got unlawful, unrighteous decrees that's going on as well too. Okay, because I got two different articles that I actually wanted to show in this lesson. Okay, but it all pretty much lines up perfectly with what's getting ready to happen and what Yahweh Shai said was going to happen. All right, So this is another article. It says undocumented builders face unchecked exploitation amid Trump raid. Is more work, less pay. Okay, and you see this, and this is in the midst of all of these government shutdowns and so on and so forth. So you got construction workers that's taking advantage of all of these immigration that undocumented workers, and they're paying them less. Okay, which is pretty much the unrighteous decree. Okay, so that's one part, and then you have the SNAP benefit. Okay, with the SNAP benefit, all right. Of course, they say there's no government shut. No SNAP benefits are going to be issued out in November, but there's a particular part that I wanted to read right here. Okay, I'm gonna read this paragraph. It said the Oklahoma Department of Human Services stated that they were notified by the U.S. Department of Agriculture of the nationwide suspension. This will impact more than 600,000 Oklahomans who rely on this benefit to purchase food each month. According to OKDHS, no new SNAP benefit will be issued on November 1st. However, the Oklahomans can continue to use their benefit and any remaining balance on their EBT card until October 31st. Okay, so there could be a case where you got people that like to save their benefit. Okay, but right here it seems like this article is saying that they have until the 31st, even if you had SNAP benefit from all the way back to July, or from the summer, you still have some benefits left. It seems like they're saying that you have until the 31st to use those SNAP benefits as well. Okay, so that's one thing that I noticed when I read this article. Okay, so that could very well be a thing as well. All right, but ultimately, what the prophecies are saying, we're gonna come to a food shortage, man. Okay, with this always it's been a report. Okay, and so ultimately you just gotta trust in Yahweh Shai, man. This is gonna be that ultimate test of seeing whether Yahweh Shai is going to save you or not, or because he's definitely gonna save his people. Okay, so Lord willing, we'll be a part of that number where we be saved, out of there, and Yahweh Shai will feed us during these times. Okay. But as for the other people, all right, you got some people that they're pretty much relying on Egypt for help, okay, and that's a precept, which is we can go ahead and get this in Isaiah chapter 31, and we'll start at verse 1, okay. So this is just another quick lesson, just to reporting on what's already been out there. But this right here kind of saying, like, if you have some saved benefit EBT card, saved benefit from previous month, what it's saying right here, all right, according to the OKDA says, a new SNAP benefit will be issued, no new SNAP benefits will be issued on November the 1st. However, Oklahoma can continue to use their benefit in any remaining balance on their EBT cards until October the 31st. Okay? And so right here it said it is unclear at this time whether any existing balance will be accessible after November the 1st deadline. Okay? So even if you save SNAP benefit, they're probably saying that you're not going to be able to use your EBT card even if you had some saved. Okay? So But again, you know, now more so than ever, you got to trust in your Bashim Yahushua. So it's Isaiah 31:1. It says, woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help. Okay, this is all of the people that complaining about their SNAP benefit. All right, their entitlement is coming out. All right, they thinking that Egypt is going to help them, you know, they're going to save them, but they don't call on the Lord. Okay, Isaiah 31:1 again from the top. Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariot because they are many, and in the horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh Yahushua. Okay, so in verse 2, and he said, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his word, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, not Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and in their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helps shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Okay, and so this is ultimately we're seeing the downfall of America, aka Babylon the Great, man. Okay, and that's prophesied to happen. Okay, and so we're about to receive that greatest test, you know, known to man, like that Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is ramping up. Okay, Jeremiah 17:5. Let's get that real quick. That's another precept. They're going into all of these people that's trusting in, you know, the government, trusting in America, aka Babylon the Great. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. It said, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. Okay, so this is that time, that great test that we're about to receive, man. Okay, so when you're short on food, ultimately you got to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But if you don't, the Lord said right here in Jeremiah 17:5, it said, thus said the Lord Yahweh power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. Okay, and so this is what the Lord mean by curse be you. So you got videos on top of videos of a lot of women saying that they're gonna walk in to the store and they're gonna take what they normally buy and they're gonna walk out. Okay, so curse be to you. All right, you going out to Egypt for help instead of relying on the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So you got to trust in him. All right, verse 6. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched place in the wilderness, and salt land, and not inhabit it. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and whose hope the Lord is. You see, so there's that balance. Okay, so even though we're about to go through some troubling time, we're about to be tested, okay, and we're ultimately going to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua because we know he's going to save us in due time, okay, and Lord willing, we are part of that number who he's going to save, okay. Matthew chapter 6:25. All right, here's a couple of precepts based on this very article. You know, you just got to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 25. So I ain't worried about it, you know. I'm expecting these things to happen because we basically waiting on our kingdom to we waiting on the downfall of America, and we waiting on our kingdom. Okay, but in the meantime, we're going to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Matthew chapter 6:25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than remnant? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barn, yet your heavenly Father Yahweh, all right, and his only begotten Son Yahweh Shai feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why taketh ye thought for remnant? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you, that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. You see, and so the Lord's going to take care of us, man. All right. So this is nothing to worry about. Basically, we just gonna trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Okay. Psalm 37:25, and this is King David right here. Psalm 37 verse 25, and it reads, I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. You see? And so, even with all of this going on, the righteous is going to be taken care of, man. And that does say the scriptures, all right? King David said it. I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. You see? And so, let's get another one. All right, so with all of this, food shortage, you're going to see the difference, okay? That's what we definitely going to see the difference. You're going to see the righteous being taken care of, while the wicked, they're going to be out there committing more iniquity because, the crime is definitely going to increase. Due to this article right here, they're definitely going to increase. They're already talking about it, okay? So you're going to see a lot of wickedness going on, all right, due to this article. And then you got another, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next article. But this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, and verse 27. And it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundant. You see that? Thou shalt be merry and have abundant. All right, and this precept actually lines up perfectly with my servant shall eat, and ye shall be hungry, right? Let me get that real quick. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 65. And verse 13. Okay? And it said, therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. You see? Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord Yahweh power shall slay thee, and call his servant by another name. That he who bless himself in the earth shall bless himself in Yahweh Shem Yahushua of truth. And he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by Yahweh Shem Yahushua of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from my eyes. You see? And in verse 17, for behold, I create new heavens and new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. You see? And so, that's pretty much what we're gonna be looking forward to, and hopefully this thing keeps spiraling a lot quicker than what we're seeing now, Cause hey, we ready to get up out of here, man. You know, I just recently seen another a podcast where this wicked Eve had the audacity to say that she think that men, you know, that Lord willing, it probably be another lesson, but I might not cover it. But she said she actually said that men that sleep with more than one woman is pretty much on a download. That's what she was insinuating. Okay, showing you that you know, a lot of people really hate the laws of the Heavenly Father. They hate what Yahweh Shai has set up. Okay, all right. So, you know, that's another lesson for another time. Lord willing, I'll be able to get that off. But, you know, I just happened to see that on a podcast, and I was like, damn, the missile can't come soon enough. Okay? But right here, let's get this article right here, which I kind of already read it a little bit. All right, we go ahead and go straight to some of the comments, right? Because it said, as Trump administration ramp up its crackdown on immigration and undocumented workers in the construction industry, claim raids and arrests have been emboldened some contractor cut pay and increase hour. It said Rogelio, a tile setter, worked for various contractors in the Tucson, Arizona region. He is undocumented and did not provide it for a name. When Donald Trump returned to office in January, Rogelio said his employer cut their rate by 30% to 40%. Other laborers told him they had endured similar treatment. They decreased the pay by pieces because they know most of the tile setters don't have Social Security number, so they take advantage of that. We are in their hand. Rogelio told the Guardian. It's more work, less pay. We have no choice right now. We're struggling with bill. We're struggling with food. We're struggling with everything because we don't get enough money to pay whatever we need to pay. Many of the undocumented immigrants Rogelio knows are only leaving home to work. We have a lot of fear, he told the Guardian. We look for news in the morning to see if we're able to go to work or not. With approximately 2.9 million U.S. construction workers, about 34% of the workforce foreign-born. Construction sector lobbyists have publicly urged the Trump administration to soften their hardline stance on immigration. Okay, so you know that Trump didn't do all of that. Okay, but I'm trying to read to that part. I will go ahead and post a link in the description. Lord willing, I'll do that. But they actually there was some reports about some contractors that didn't want to pay some of the workers, and so what they did is they called ICE on them so they don't have to pay. So they basically made them work, and basically they got paid for not their work. They didn't get paid for their labor. All right, and that's the type of stuff that be going on in America, aka Babylon the Great. This is why this place have to go. Okay, so you know, let's just get a couple of precepts on that. All right, and then we'll close this thing out. You know, just I'm not sure what I was gonna title this lesson. I'll probably say Watchman report various topics or something like that. Okay, but I was just kind of browsing and looking, just like seeing what's going on and through the midst of the chaos. And this is one of the many things that's going on top of many other things. Okay, so you know everything is happening so fast and it's hard to keep up, man. Okay, so first let's get the laws, all right, because this is showing you how America, you know, even though they say in God we trust, they put it on a dollar bill. Okay, they proving that they don't follow the true power of Yahweh Shai. You know, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They don't follow the scriptures. Okay, and one of these scriptures what they're breaking, and they pretty much getting away with it. It's Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 13, and it said, "Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The ways of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning." Okay, and so again, you know, we in America we get a weekly paycheck, but you know it's really supposed to be daily. All right, And that says the scripture. All right, get another one in Deuteronomy chapter 24. Okay, get Deuteronomy 24. Starting in verse 14. And it says, thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gate. You see, so that's what this article, what's going on in this article. America, pretty much those who own construction company, they're violating this very law right here. Okay, in verse 15, at his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cries against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin unto thee. All right, but in this case, there we just read one of the Jake pretty much saying, because I'm pretty sure it's Jake. All right, they're saying that they are in fear of ICE. Okay, but we're telling you to fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, when you fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know you ain't got nothing to worry about. Okay, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. All right, so let's get that. We get another one. Jeremiah chapter 22 and verse 13. And then it says, woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness. You see, and that's America. All right, when it says woe, that means great sorrow. So this is why we always been telling you that America, aka Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed due to the things that they've done. They built their house by unrighteousness. All right, starting with the Native American, they stole the land. All right, that was unrighteous. All right, and his chamber by wrong, that uses his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. You see, and giveth him not for his work. All right, even when the so-called Negroes were brought over here in on a slave ship, they used them for free labor. All right, so they didn't get paid for their labor as well either. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. I'm gonna just leave it there. But yeah, this is definitely Jeremiah 22 is definitely a good chapter to read. Let's move on from there. Get James chapter 5 and verse 4. The point being verse 4, but we'll start at verse 1. Okay? And it said, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered. The rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye shall heap treasures together for the last day. Behold, the hires of the labor which have reaped down your field, which is of you kept back by pride, crieth and crieth of them which have reaped, are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Okay, and so the Lord is hearing the cries of the righteous. Okay, so that's why he's gonna operate on our behalf, and he's gonna he slowly but surely he's taking his place down. We're seeing it today with all of this chaos going on. Okay, but you know it's just pretty much a witness. These two articles is another witness against Esau Edom, the so-called white man who running all of these diabolical schemes right here. Okay, so. You know, ultimately, we just gotta constantly trust in the Lord, trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right, this is it. What's going on now is gonna be that ultimate test that we're getting ready to receive. Okay, and so we're gonna see the difference between the wicked. You're gonna see the wicked start to get destroyed, which is basically we're in the midst of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and the righteous is going to be saved. They're going to be fed. Okay. And they're not going to rely on Egypt for help. You know, modern day Egypt is America. Okay, All right, so this is Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in a time of trouble." All right, this is trusting Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, when you need food, whatever you need, Yahweh Shem Yahushua got you, man. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in a furnace of adversity. You see? And so, yeah, that's all we got to do, man. Trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. So, that was just a quick lesson, quick Watchman report. I think I might title it Watchman Report, various topics, okay? Okay, so, that's pretty much the point. Lord willing, is edifying. With that, and we give our praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who were well in teaching us the truth, 100% securely. Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.